This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today on Independence Day Eve, the day before the 4th of July, and our program being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Again, a reminder to our friends on the south side, South Greeley address, the location there is being rebuilt. Believe me, you're going to love what they're going to do with that new location. So in the interim, again, stop up. Again, in the interim, that's for a temporary time. Go to the Taco John's food truck that's available on the South Greeley Highway. Usually you'll find the food truck over in the Outlaw Saloon parking lot. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, they are your exclusive home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. Great prices right now. And great financing packages put in play. So, again, check out what Jolly Rogers has on the lot. This is going to be a great weekend to head on over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A for 3 squares, Monday through Saturday breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, of course, Ray and Cindy say, you got to try. It is a must-try. Their Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and their delicious strawberry passion tea lemonade to wash it down. That goes well with everything else on the menu as you can select from some plethora of goodies over there at Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne. Also, go to their website, CheyenneChicken.com, if you ever need them to come on by and cater. Marvelous in the catering department as well. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne, corner of Windmill and Del Range, right across from Powers Field and Menards. Kia of Cheyenne. The 19s, yes, they're there, but they need to start moving them out because it's time to start thinking about the 2020 model year. I'm not making that up. Kia of Cheyenne has some great deals going on right now. The entire Kia family on display. Whether you go Soul, whether you go SUV with the Telluride, whether you go sporty with the Stinger, it's all there for you. Kia of Cheyenne on Nationwide. Platte Valley Bank, a couple of banking locations for you over on Vanda High, and, of course, you can see them on the east side at the corner of College and Pershing. Medicap Pharmacy was just over there seeing my good friend Gene today and picking up a couple of prescriptions. Again, they are right next door to Texas Roadhouse, and they've been at this for a long, long time. Where they wish everybody a happy 4th of July. They'll be closed tomorrow, back at it again on Friday. They're open Monday through Saturday. Lennox Auto Body, part of Lennox Auto Enterprises, also the Auto Glass and Detail Center. That is located on Pershing, the auto body shop over on Dunn Avenue, serving our community for a quarter century. First True Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, again offering 3.1 percentage rate, annual percentage yield on a 27-month CD. So they are there Monday through Friday, closed tomorrow for the 4th of July holiday. Mondello's Pizzeria. Yeah, everybody's going to call it a day tomorrow. Joe and the gang, they're there 7 days a week. But remember, we're going to take off for the 4th of July. Paisan cuisine at its best. And again, everything fresh and delicious. The reputation speaks for itself. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. To get things underway, it's scoreboard time. We go first to the Nixter.
It's almost like you're shocked that people take 4th of July Independence Day off for whatever reason. Go figure. It's a national holiday. But
it's also, you got to eat too, right?
I would assume that most people would. Again, barbecue, you take care of that at home, if not camping. It's as simple as that. Again, one day where you're among friends, family, you blow off fireworks, there you go. Again, where, hey, maybe at Mondello's they want to enjoy fireworks, be with their family. And,
okay. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
I'm just saying you act shocked.
Either way. You want to be with friends and family. I don't want to be with you tomorrow.
Not with you. I didn't say you were friends and family. But
I got better things to do.
Yeah, I certainly do too. But also too, regarding at least Cheyenne Extreme Softball, they had a contest earlier this morning about 7:35 our time, but 9 o'clock out there in Florida as they are still day 2, part of the USSSA Space Coast World Series, the 18 over at least open tournament. They are still in pool play, or at least pool play has at least come to a cease, at least with Cheyenne Extreme getting the victory today against Carolina Riptide, a team out of Charlotte, North Carolina, by the final score of 8-2. With the victory today, they are 37-9-3, at least in pool play down at this World Series tournament. They went 2-0-1, and we'll talk more about at least the upcoming bracket play for the Cheyenne Extreme.
Major League Baseball, top of the ninth inning in Chicago. This is part of a twin bill because they were wiped out last night due to the weather. Imagine that in Chicago. At Guaranteed Rate Field, Pale Hose leading the Motor City Kitties of Detroit 7-3. 4 o'clock game, we'll have the Nationals hosting the Marlins in the 5 o'clock hour. Yankees-Mets at Citi Field. By the way, the Yankees' 31-game home run streak snapped last night by the Metropolitans, if you can believe that. It's the Cubs and the Pirates, I should say, at PNC in the 5 o'clock hour. Red Sox, Blue Jays also in the 5 p.m. hour. At 5:10, Orioles, Rays at the Trop. 5:10, Brewers, Reds at Great American Ballpark. 5:20, the Bravos hosting the Phillies at SunTrust Park. Angels and the Rangers again this evening, 6:05 at Globe Life Park in Arlington. White Sox and the Motor City Kitties will get together for Game 2 of their day-night twin bill. Astros-Rockies again at 6:10. That will be at Coors Field. Right now, 92 degrees. Wade Miley will be on the hill for the Stros. And for the Rocks, it will be Peter Lambert taking his 2-0 record. Oh, by the way, he's carrying a 6.57 ERA. Probably better than the bullpen. Also, Indians-Royals from Kauffman Stadium, 7 o'clock hour. The Athletics in the Coliseum. They will play host to the Twins. Giants-Padres at 7:10 at Petco this evening. 8 o'clock hour had the Diamondback and the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. Cardinals-M's at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. This will be our final program for the week as we will be scooting out of here tomorrow, enjoying the Independence Day holiday, and, of course, Friday. We'll be over at Powers Field watching some baseball action.
Will you?
Yeah, I plan to.
All right.
I'm not going with you because nobody likes you.
I didn't plan on with you either.
So, again, that will involve Post 6.
Post 6 and also to the Cheyenne Hawks as well, too. So
right.
At least two local entities. Hawks on one side of the bracket, or at least in pool play on at least Pool B. Pool A will involve with the Cheyenne Post 6, as they'll see the likes of Lubbock, Texas team, also to at least Casper Oilers, just to name a few. So interesting tournament to head on over, Firecracker at least tournament. Good action. As we talked with Ty earlier this week about, $5 a ticket to go out there. If you do already have a Post-6 season pass, that is valid as well, too, to get free entry in. So, again, encourage folks as it starts up tomorrow, Thursday, and then at least championship will go all the way championship Sunday. So, again, a lot of action happening. That also involves, again, Cheyenne Post-6 and also to the Cheyenne Hawks as well, too, here in town.
And we will have coming up in the program today, Cheyenne Mustangs joining us, as we will have Coach Reed Thompson joining us. And
assistant coach, Reed Thompson. He'll join us also, too. We will have a player as well, too, joining us from the Cheyenne Mustangs as they get set to go at least schedule has not been posted, but at least they do have a 4th of July tournament, and I do believe they're going to swap places, so to speak, with Cheyenne Post 6, where Post 6 was down in Denver last weekend. Mustangs up here in town at Powers. I think at least upcoming, and again, we'll get more information from Reed, but they are at least set to be down in Denver competing in a 4th of July tournament down there.
Cade Connell, I do believe, is our player that will be joining Reed, so we get a chance to introduce you to yet another Mustang here on 1480 KRAE. So we've got the guys in action, hopefully.
Well, they'll get in action again.
Beginning tomorrow.
Weather should be decent up here, set for
There's
a few
always that
thunderstorms.
afternoon thunderstorm.
Yeah, we'll see if that at least causes any concern for Post 6 for tomorrow. Their first game is at 5 o'clock, so right around that time. But, again, just keep your eye to the sky.
Well, the worst,
it shouldn't be a big problem.
The worst part of these thunderstorms, yeah, we know it rains and there's an occasional bit of hail that comes. It's the damn lightning. And, when and you got to credit the umpires. They see lightning, and what they do is they'll time it. And if it's nearby, they're going to shut it down. They're going to wait
not just for the players, but for for the fans who are sitting in metal bleachers.
Concerns. Yes, absolutely. And also, too, with that being said, they're in contact. I mean, it's amazing now, the technology compared to 15, 20 years ago. The technology now where they can sit there and go, okay, this storm is moving east at 15 miles an hour. We'll sit this one out for about 20 minutes. So that's the worst part of our weather up here. It's more the lightning than anything. We can play through rain.
Not necessarily. Again, if it gets soppy, whether it's in the outfield or, again, that.
I'm not talking heavy rain, Nick. I'm talking just, a shower.
Whatever.
No,
I don't know why we're talking weather at this point in time.
Well, because it's in the forecast for this weekend.
It is not a big issue for upcoming for 4th of July, for Friday, Saturday. It's slight chance for anything.
It says anytime there's a slight chance, that means it's going to happen. It's the lightning
cares?
more than anything.
Again, trust the weather forecast. It is what it is. Half the time we anticipate rain and it never comes. But
folks are going to believe me more than you because they've been around. They know what I know what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying it is not that entirely accurate, but either way, though, there's other important stuff to talk about instead of the weather for this weekend, again, as that's been a common theme. Kind of sick and tired of talking about the weather out here in this part of the world.
Deal with it.
It's supposed to be nice, at least in the 70s, 80s, so we'll see what happens. But at least a few other things as we at least talk about Cheyenne Extreme. We could talk about that right now. Again, competing down in the Space Coast World Series down in Florida as they're competing against national teams from around the country, as we mentioned today, again, getting the victory against the Charlotte, North Carolina team, 8-2. Carolina Riptide going 2-0-1. And looking at the bracket play, where at least Cheyenne Extreme had a potential extra pool play game today if they happen to have lost to kind of determine seeding or at least fixated for this bracket play. Cheyenne Extreme, though, going 2-0-1 for the past couple of days as pool play is now ended and bracket play will begin tomorrow on Independence Day. Congrats to Cheyenne Extreme, Team Galicia. They're one of your number one seeds who get at least a first round bye, so to speak, on the 4th of July, where they don't have to worry about it. Again, at least bracket play is beginning later today, this afternoon. It should be underway right now in Florida to determine kind of advanced seedings. It's pretty much of the the outside looking in to get everyone at least all set in stone. So Cheyenne Extreme doesn't have to play that extra game, has a chance to rest, if not also to scout, where they do know right now they sit, again, as they are number one seed of the kind of B pool. The other team that was at least the A squad, San Diego Renegades, they are your number one seed on the A side of the bracket. So congrats to both of those teams, including the Cheyenne Extreme. But they do await the winner right now between the Hickory Lady Hornets and also to the Bowie Blue Jays. So looking forward to that. So for Cheyenne Extreme, nice little opportunity today to sit back, scout some of these teams, and sit and await who's going to at least face off tomorrow morning there in Florida.
Well, one of the nice things about getting that number one seed, usually, and we'll have to talk with Adam when the squad gets back, it's usually when you're in pool play, it's runs against. And they've been getting some great pitching down there right now. I mean, that's a tip of the cap to Adams' squad right now.
But again, they're not going against slouch teams. These are top teams across the nation where, again, they're facing against a Kansas team. They're facing off against a Texas team. They're facing off, again, today, as I mentioned, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're talking, again, a major metropolitan softball squad that is competing against our local team here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and they still get the business done. Again, at least now for Cheyenne Extreme, it's an interesting situation where they do get to sit back and rest and relax and scout, but also, too, they now have that target on their back, so to speak, as they are the team to beat right now in this World Series happening in Florida.
With the Cheyenne Extreme, too, when we got that opportunity last week to watch them, we know they're very potent offensively. Yeah. We know they could score and they can light it up at any moment. But, again, this is where and I've been a part of this, especially on my old man's hardball team. Pitching is what carries you through these tournaments. You must have your pitching, your starters go the distance, bottom line. And what I've seen so far in the box scores, Adam's been getting some great pitching, limiting the runs. And, again, runs against are very important. That's why they are seeded number 1 on their side of the bracket. And, again, the San Diego squad on the other side. So, again, being stingy right now is a good thing for the Extreme. Whoever they draw on this. And, again, every game now, it just gets that much tougher to get to the finals.
And again, it goes off of class as well. That's why they are the number 1 B team. Again, they are an 18B. The San Diego team an 18A. So again, a higher kind of level, so to speak, at least in classification in USSSA. There is a C number 1 team. So obviously below A and B, that would be number 1 out of the C class, American Freedom team. But they don't get the opportunity to get that bye. They have to do a play-in game against at least a Gold Glove Midwest team that at least the Extreme already defeated yesterday early in the morning. So, again, right now, Cheyenne Extreme sitting pretty. It's them and one other team that has this opportunity that, hopefully they don't waste. Hopefully it does not get spoiled. And, obviously we know Coach Galicia, what he does, prepares his team, takes advantage of this rest. Again, where here we are coming from the dry, hot air of Cheyenne, Wyoming, down to the humidity. And he talked about keeping them at least hydrated, keeping them rested, keeping them, at least a little warmed up, so to speak, not to get fatigued, not to run into any injuries or anything at all. So, best of luck to Cheyenne Extreme as they continue on, again, representing this town and doing something very special right now in the state of Florida.
And also, again, as we mentioned, going back to the baseball side here tomorrow, and it gets underway at Powers Field, as we will see, the varsity, the junior varsity. You'll see Post 6 and again, the Hawks. And both these squads have played a lot of baseball to this point. Going to hopefully get some more in tomorrow at Powers Field. And this is I guess the way Ty said it to us, every tournament gets tougher. The competition gets a little bit better. And it only makes his team that much more prepared as they get ready for state tournament.
Again, you're seeing a unknown, at least Texas team coming up from Lubbock. So a familiar foe, so to speak. They haven't been up in Cheyenne for quite some time, or at least a few years. You do know what to expect of the Casper Oilers, again, team that was favored here in the state to win the state tournament. So you know what to expect out of them. So they're going to be a formidable outfit. And then also, too, you have that gold team coming up from the Colorado ranks where they at least faced against the blue team, which was essentially their JV squad. So they're taking on essentially the varsity squad coming up out of Denver, Colorado. So, competition does ramp up here. And, again, good level talent to go see over at Powers Field this weekend. And, it's a tough little task for Cheyenne Post 6, but can they get it done? Absolutely. We know what they can do at Powers Field. They do have that home field advantage, certainly. But it'll be interesting to see what this team is made of now at home where, yes, this tournament kind of ramps up a bit. Well, it also, too, prepares them where we do have at least not to focus on at least too much past this weekend, but next weekend, you got the CABA tournament. You got that where we saw the teams that did come in. We'll see what teams are at least going to be a part of this. And again, we had the mixture of we had a mixture of Connie Mack and also American Legion teams. We'll see if that does happen. Our understanding, though, is that one Steve Avila, a guy we've had the pleasure of at least dealing with a few times here on Wyoming Sports Talk today, last year, as we were trying to get the understanding of what this debacle was about this tournament. Our understanding is that Post 6 is now pretty much in charge of this, of booking teams and taking care of business, making sure that there is a gate as well, too. And again, we'll get more details on what's going to happen with that.
But we heard from Ty, right? Only Avalon's bringing maybe a couple of teams from Washington.
I think two.
State.
Yeah, two. But other than that, though, Post 6 has at least done their research, done their outreaching, and got teams to be a part of this tournament. So kudos to Post 6 and that crew of basically taking over this tournament and just keeping Steve Avila far away from this, where probably the best move to happen here in the city of Cheyenne regarding that tournament. So, but this coming up this weekend is a nice test for that tournament, where we saw last year had some good representation, whether it was from the state of Washington, Idaho, Nevada. We had that talented, at least California team on the Connie Mack side that gave the Cheyenne Mustangs a run for their money in their at least championship game there, at least to determine on that side of the bracket, which at least that California team did also too make it to the Connie Mack World Series. I do believe, if not won the Connie Mack World Series. So we saw some big name teams, big level talent that were a part of this. So this is a nice little litmus test, a nice little testing out firecracker tourney for the Post 6 Sixers to get them ready for what's coming up next week.
Yeah, and again, you head on out this weekend, as you mentioned before, $5 to go through the gate.
Do believe so.
Unless you have a season pass.
Well, again, they should put up, at least when you go into the entry gates, they usually have a nice little billboard sign that tells you what the prices are, even for the tournament or just for Post 6 games in general. I'm not sure which they'll put out there, but again, all that information is once you walk up to the gates there at Powers Field.
So, again, if you haven't made any plans this weekend, there's going to be a plethora of baseball action going on over at Powers Field. We do need to take a timeout, and we'll be back with more after these words here on 1480 KRAE. Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Black Velvet Canadian Whiskey, 1.75-liter bottle, $11.99. Keystone Lighter Ice, 30-pack, 12-ounce cans, $18.99. And Tito's Handmade Vodka, 750-milliliter bottle, $15.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
We're working hard for your business. I'm AJ Miller at Kia of Cheyenne, and right now you could save on the 2019 Kia Forte. The 2019 Kia Forte is priceless, yet still offers standard features not found on most of its competitors. With Kia Forte, you can charge your phone with available wireless charging, voice command navigation, and 8-inch touchscreen to help sync up your world. Come into Kia of Cheyenne or call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
The message is simple. Drive sober or get pulled over. If you drink and drive, remember it's illegal and it can cost you your freedom or worse, your life. It's been determined that a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or more can impair you considerably when you are behind the wheel. Financially, it can devastate you if you get arrested. More importantly, it could result in losing a friend or a family member. That price is too high to pay. Call a designated driver after enjoying a night out and get home safe. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day, at Windmill and Del Range.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480KRAE.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 53. On Thursday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 82. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 52.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk today for this Wednesday again. We will not be here tomorrow or Friday. Again, catching some baseball action. If you hear some buzzing in the background, they're doing work on the office next door.
It's always something with this building.
Well, and
Can't get the air conditioning on in this room, so our guests have to die, including us. And we got noise.
I'm working. I already talked to the guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's
too
concerned.
They got to get that done over there. So that's why you're hearing buzzing. They're laying some carpet down. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, they
blah,
can't
blah.
open the vents over here. Go figure.
All right, here's an update for you. What we got coming up next week, and hopefully we will bring this to you first and foremost. And Nick's been working hard on getting these special guests in. So again, this is going to be pretty much newsworthy, as we have been talking about it since last Friday and pretty much throughout the course of this week. Coming up next week, you have.
What I have is coming up on Thursday, again, as I mentioned plenty of times, but I will remind folks, I'll even remind you once again on at least Monday, but coming up on Thursday, tentative schedule, we will talk with interim AD at LCCC, one Dr. Cindy Henning. She will join us in the 3 o'clock hour on Thursday of next week's show, so looking forward to that, getting her thoughts on all of this and trying to understand of what her direction is going to be, again, as an interim 3-year term. AD encompassing also to Director of Exercise Science. Again, they put a whole umbrella term for her. She's in charge of many aspects over there in the athletics and also to a little academic.
Recreation.
Recreation as well too. So, but we'll get an understanding from her of what is going to happen now under her leadership, as that's what it's going to be now. Again, where I don't think Dr. Schaefer is going to go against this. It would be kind of career suicide if he did. But again, as we go forward and have this situation right now at LCCC with the athletic department, athletic director, again, we will talk with her on Thursday, and also got it officially set up for today, at least coming up next Friday about 4 o'clock hour. Again, we'll remind folks via social media and also throughout next week's show. But Friday, 4 o'clock next week, we will have in studio Dr. Joe Schaefer of LCCC to get his thoughts, see what his decision-making, at least the process behind this decision for at least calling for an interim AD. Why
it wasn't ever posted nationwide.
Yeah, why Cindy Henning instead of anyone else in that athletic department. Get also to maybe a feel for what is his thoughts about athletics at LCCC. What is his direction? What is his thought process? What does he want out of the athletic department there at LCCC? Where we have news coming out. I think Coach Brian Ortmeyer, women's basketball head coach, on Twitter posted today a few of his sophomores getting at least recognized as all academic, part of the all academic teams. I think one Collier O'Brien, Jessica Stoner as well too. So again, we got they're student athletes and they're getting it done. They're graduating. They're getting the good grades out there. So they're not just the jock types of, hey, I'm here to just play sports. No, they're still getting their academics.
And waste 2 years of my life.
Yeah, they're still getting their academics. And it's not even just the women's basketball program we saw with, at least with men's basketball. Again, I do believe a few select from women's soccer, from men's soccer, and also to women's volleyball made it to all academic teams, as all those awards were divvied out today.
Well, I understand this too, and we've seen this, especially in our last 2 seasons of covering LCCC. You don't make the grade, you don't play.
Yeah,
you're benched. You're done. Bottom line, I think,
and we saw that with a few entities.
We saw one player who was playing in the first half of the season. He did not suit up in the second half at all.
Yeah,
and that's the way it should be. If you are not hitting a certain GPA, then you should not be allowed to play. And it's like that in high school. Again, if you and again, I know from personal knowledge, if you don't have the marks, you're hasta la vista.
Well, again, not because obviously with NJCAA or even NCAA, obviously there are those rules, those terms.
You can't hide it.
You can't hide it. You can't go against it or try to do something sneaky because eventually they'll find out and they'll throw down that death penalty. We've seen that throughout college athletics. So LCCC, what we're seeing is they're keeping true. They are following those rules. And again, also too, making sure that those athletes are first and foremost student athletes and getting their grades and again advancing their college career.
And they're going through the college curriculum. They may not have a major, but they're going through general studies.
But at a community college, do you really need at that point in time, again, your freshman, sophomore year, I went in as a freshman, at least at the University of Idaho, going straight to a major because that's what they recommended up there. But looking back, you really don't need one. And especially at a community college, I mean, general studies, just get that out of the way and then focus once you move on to a UW, a CSU, Northern Colorado, whatever four-year school that you advance on to. I mean, it is not a pressure. It's there to, again, you're getting there for, if not a free education, to get to that next level to eventually find out what you want to major in.
Well, when I went to college, and I did go to a JC first, I went in with a science type of major. I was into chemistry. And by the second semester, I was into broadcasting. Well, as I got from JC, and I took a couple of broadcasting classes, as a sophomore. But when I got to my junior and senior year at Chico State in California, I knew what my major was. It was telecommunications, which encompassed radio and television at the time. So, yeah, you're right.
But is it a force incident at LCCC of where you need to get a major or at least something start specified? I mean, you would be happy about it.
You would think like Carly O'Brien and when we had Courtney Walker, they were part of the nursing program, so they knew what they wanted to do.
Well, majority of them had a major set in at least stone, or at least they had some sort of direction. I think with even on the men's and women's side, when we had them part of the LCCC coaches show back a few months ago, everyone that we spoke with had some sort of path. Now, will they continue that path? Again, that's up to them. They have plenty of time to kind of figure that out before those kind of junior, senior years of once, hey, now you need to figure stuff out. But, majority of them had that direction. They said, hey, even when we asked that major, hey, have you looked at a career possibility or at least what you want to do with this? And I think majority of them had a good, solid answer of, yes, I would like to do this.
But you also have to complete X amount of credit hours. And again, when you're a student athlete, and think about this too, especially when you get to the next level after high school, you may have to take some summer courses. Why? Because think about it when you were into the winter sport, basketball. Winter, and well, as well as we do, we got stuck in Rock Springs. You missed a day of class. So,
which I would hope most of those instructors
emails were sent out. But what I'm saying is, you're away from class quite a bit, and you need to at least.
We're also in 2019. We're also in 2019.
You need to put some credits in your pocket prior to these seasons.
But again, even with being stuck in Rock Springs or being on the road with these teams, whether it is soccer, volleyball, or basketball, again, we're in 2019 where if not majority of your classes are online, or at least these instructors can kind of work with you online of here's an email, here's a curriculum, here's a PowerPoint that you can download on your laptop, on your tablet, whatever it may be, even if you are, even on your cell phone, if you really wanted to, on your smartphone, you have that opportunity. So I think here we are in, again, the age of technology of how beautiful it is. Especially these student athletes, even here in the city of Cheyenne over at LCCC, they have those benefits, and I would hope that those instructors out there are working with the athletic department to go, all right, we understand. Here's what we can do for you as you are on the road. All right, here's where you can submit your paper. If you type it online, all right, email it to me, and we can get it done even if you are in Powell, if you're out in Phoenix like the women's basketball will be, wherever you are, we give you these opportunities. And again, I think that goes back to, at least with our conversation coming up next week on Friday here on Wyoming Sports Talk Today with Dr. Joe Schaefer. Get a good understanding of, is he pushing, is he Is he trying to help out this athletic department? Is he for this athletic department? And what exactly are we trying to do to keep it not so much kind of bastardize this athletic department, but keep it as a solid core part of at least piece of the puzzle over at LCCC, where they are one with the math department, the music department, it's athletics as well too, that they're all meshing and on one page.
I agree with you. And when we talk with both, because again, Dr. Cindy Henning, she's going to have to get herself acclimated real quick to all.
And I want to know. I want to know for both again. Where even if Cindy Henning is a interim AD, she's still there. She still has to be that boss, so to speak, over there. She still has that job, even if it is not official. But again, it's a 3-year term. So hopefully for 3 years, she is not just kind of sitting there and doing nothing, but hopefully advancing and helping out that athletic department to bigger and better things. But I think it goes for both of those parties. Thing is, of what is your direction? Where are we? Again, we're athletics. We have top 25 programs, nationally ranked programs, nationally known entities, and student athletes, international students that come here to play our athletics. What's the next step? What visions do you have to help out these teams to get bigger and better?
And you need to know how to distribute monies.
Yeah.
You better know how to balance a budget, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, again, you have to have all your ducks in a row. You just can't sit down, put your feet up in the desk.
And I think the first thing for LCCC at this point in time is you need a rack renovation. You need a brand new building. Now, we've seen that literature in Dr. Joe Schaefer's office when we met with him, at least to kind of introduce ourselves. We knew that it's there, and that process is in the works, so to speak, or at least they're looking into it. So at least in my opinion, of what is the main priority right now, something that we've heard from coaches. Again, we mocked it during and even with Chris yesterday talking about it, again, where we can't even host the regional volleyball tournament because it was an inch lower than what is regulation for at least collegiate volleyball, which is a complete, absolute joke. But I think that is the main priority, and hopefully, again, we have everyone on a symbiotic kind of at least mindset where we're looking to improve facilities, improve the athletics to bigger and better sites, like, for instance, a Snow College in Utah, a CSI up in Idaho. You have some of the Tyler, Texas team, or at least Tyler College, at least JC down in Texas.
See what they have in Gillette?
Yeah.
But, my point is, though, you never saw the old rack. I broadcast out of the old rack. It was a joke back then. The lighting was poor. I mean, the rack today is probably a 250% better change than it used to be.
But it's still it's well behind the time.
But that's how much they gave a hoot about it back then. So you got people in there right now, and you've got other outsiders. Larry, Nick, and you know who I'm referring to. There are people there that are marching, holding the banner right now, saying we got to do this and we need to get it done. Give Rasmussen his little due there as he brought in new clocks.
Yeah, which was desperate because they had so many issues where we even mocked it on broadcast.
Clock
because
and a scoreboard, yeah.
We always had a clock issue. And again, even with touching those rim, if you breathed on the rim, it had a shot clock issue where the clock would just go completely out.
So again, the changes have been small, and they seem like they take forever to come. But it's almost like here's what we got. What can we do to make it better? And we're trying this, that, and the other thing. But always it comes down to money.
Oh, yeah.
And again, where does the monies come from? Well,
it's either from the state or, again, you look at the local community. And again, if you're unable to get it from the state, and going back to at least with former AD Scott Noble of his course, again, where we had those conversations, even had him on air when he was pushing to get that at least passed for, the added tax on, at least, again, regarding what housing or, again, without noting
a little mill levy.
Yeah, mill levy. But again, it was something where he looked towards the community to help out LCCC, look toward the city of Cheyenne, at least Laramie County.
He wanted Laramie County
to help out what is our college here for this county here in southeast Wyoming. And it was turned out. And I think that's something that hopefully that at least Joe Schaefer is realized, and also too with Cindy Hitting, that they get on that same page and realize that there is a call for it, or at least, again, we've had others that have at least tried to address this, that coaches would like this renovation out there. So we can have those bigger and better opportunities. Like I said yesterday, what's going to happen if, men or women's basketball hosts the regional tournament? How are we going to fit all these teams? How are we going to fit all these players? It's just not going to happen.
Can't host it.
It's going to be a mess.
You can't host it.
And in order to do that, as women's basketball is elevating year in, year out, again, they are getting to that upper echelon in Region 9 North at this point in time. Men's basketball can absolutely be at least get at that top tier and host a regional tournament. So right now, I think it's something that, again, hopefully we'll get that talk with Joe Schaefer and Cindy Henning about what are you going to do to get this community behind you as well, too, to start supporting this athletic
and quit
department?
Playing damage control.
Yeah.
That's the problem they've got right now. They play way too much damage control instead of helping themselves.
You need this city to get on your side.
You
need to find ways.
The city
and county, absolutely.
All right, we do need to take a timeout. We'll come back. We will look at a little baseball here. Believe it or not, we're already halfway through the season. We're back after these words. Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
The end of the summer is in sight. Did you accomplish all of your home improvements and remodeling projects? Whether you're remodeling your kitchen or adding a little extra space for your growing family, the home equity line of credit with Platte Valley Bank can help you finish what you want to complete this summer. So stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit with Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All lines of credit are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-thru window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-thru window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is number one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-Minute Mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 53. On Thursday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 82. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 52.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, before we get into Major League Baseball, another death in the sporting world today. And again, this athletes from the gridiron really was not a great career, but nonetheless had about 5 seasons with the NFL.
But he was an infamous name, or at least a guy that people knew about. Again, former Kentucky, at least Wildcat quarterback.
The southpaw.
Yeah, the hefty lefty, as he was known, but former Giants quarterback Jared Lorenzen, unfortunately passed away today at the age of 38. A guy who has been dealing with at least being obese and just weight issues throughout, even all the way back with Kentucky throughout his NFL days. We saw infamous photos when he was playing with the, at least the last time that I saw him play, was with the UFL, part of that springtime league. Played some arena football as well, too, where you saw a lot of those infamous photos where he kind of ballooned up past those NFL days, where I think even the height of his weight gain was about 500 pounds, where he decided to at least start the Jared Lorenzen Project, where he eventually lost 100 pounds of recent. He's been documenting that on like his YouTube channel, but due to at least fortunate battling with heart and kidney issues as well as an infection, he was hospitalized on Friday, but today, again, after a long, hard fought, again, with just all those medical issues, fortunately just passed away due to, again, the complications, which I'm assuming, came with just being
cardiac and renal issues. Yes.
Yeah, again, just being obese and just overweight throughout his entire life. So kind of a sad situation. Again, an infamous name across at least college and pro football. Again, even with semi-pro, whether it was UFL or arena football. Again, yeah, Jared Lorenzen passed away at the age of 38.
He was drafted as a free agent, undrafted free agent, I should say, with the Giants in 2004, spent parts of 4 seasons with the Giants. Matter of fact, he and Eli Manning faced each other in college, no less.
Yeah.
And then he signed on with the Indianapolis Colts in July 2008, was waived before the start of the season. So, again, our second athlete of note that has passed away here this week.
Yeah, another one that,
young ages. I mean, Tyler Skaggs was, 28?
27.
27, and here's Lorenzen at 38 years young.
Well, and the Lorenzen thing, that is unfortunate. It's unfortunate to say, again, as he has passed away, but why he has passed away at such a young age is something that he did to himself. Again, with the overweight issues, taking the last second where, again, he ballooned up to about 500 pounds, then addressed it after when, again, it got out of hand. Again, 500 pounds, that's extreme. That is where, yes, you're going to run into a lot of health issues. Glad that he caught, or at least addressed it once it didn't get too out of hand. Again, eventually lost about 100 pounds, but still being about 400 pounds, that's well overweight and, again, causes so much health issues. So with this, at least, death regarding Jared, you hate to say it, but it's not a surprise. It's something that he unfortunately did to himself and just did not address it more soon.
Let's go back now to baseball real quick. Last night, as I happened to kick back and watch the Rockies and the Astros play, I got to say this here, and I'll get back to that here in just a second. Here we are at the midway point of the season, and right now we see the Braves leading the East. The Brewers up by a game over the Cubs. This is going to be a battle. This Central Division, I don't know, Nick. I think it may produce 3. And
even though you're going, oh, no, it's not.
Well, the Cardinals are still under the Mendoza line. If the Rockies continue to give away games like they did.
They will.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
right
that's
now
what they've done throughout this entire
they're 3
season.
games above 500. They gave away 3 games already.
Well,
2
guess
to
what?
the Dodgers and last night to the Astros.
Again, their only shot is the wild card because as it stands right now, they're 13 behind the Dodgers. Where
the Dodgers are running away with it.
It's 100% guaranteed at this point in time, and I will sign and seal and deliver that the Dodgers are winning the NL West. They will not have a collapse. I highly doubt that Arizona, Colorado, San Diego, even the Giants, who stand at 19 games behind the LA Dodgers, none of those teams are catching the Dodgers or even having any sort of contention for that NL West. Let's be honest.
And moving along to the East, the Yankees still in control. The Rays, everybody's waiting for the Rays to fold. They're not going to fold.
They're trickling down, though. Again,
They're
5.5 back behind the Yankees, where I told you.
How about the Red Sox?
I told you weeks ago that watch this Yankees team as they're getting healthy start to at least trail away from the rest of that pack there in the AL East, and they're doing it right now. Again, Tampa Bay, they might flirt with a wild card, but I think right now Yankees, I'm not going to say, hey, it's a 100% guarantee that they win the East, but I think they're going to find themselves in the same situation as the Dodgers here, and if give it a week or 2 or at least maybe 3 weeks, they might have a 10-game lead over Boston or over Tampa Bay. This is a scary team right now in the American League.
Watch for the Rays. They're going to be buyers during
Will they?
And you know what they're going to be buying?
I think Tampa Bay at this point.
They're going to buy pitching.
We'll see. Again, the Rays right now, where I think their main focus is deciding, do they play in Tampa Bay or do they play in Montreal?
They don't care right now. They can play in the garbage dump in Tampa, and I'm telling you, they just need pitching. That place is so pitcher-friendly just because of the way it's built. Yes, it does give up home runs and what have you, but again, too, the way it's lit. And again, if you're a pitcher, you would kind of drew.
You would assume that Tampa Bay is going to be a buyers, but with that outfit out there, where they are, Tampa Bay is just as they're one of the cheaper franchises across the league.
You want to go to Montreal next year? That's your question. But again, if you're going there as a hired gun, hey, I'll go there.
I mean, let's be honest. So Tampa Bay is on the same par as Oakland, where they find those bargains and they do everything cheap.
Right?
Are they going to be buyers? You would like to think so. They should be. They're without a doubt. If you want to contend and if not solidify a wild card spot or at least contend with the Yankees, you got to address some needs out there in Tampa Bay. But will they? That is the big question. It's the same with the Rockies that we ask every year of, will they be at least a buyer in this, at least in free agency or at least do any trades? We'll see.
And we'll get to the Rocks here in just a minute. Twins, not stumbling a little bit, but they're stubbing their toe. Cleveland's still within their sights, even though they're 7 out.
7 out. I mean,
Houston leads the West by 7 over Oakland. But Oakland's caught fire. They're 8 games above the Mendoza line.
Yeah, Oakland's
last time we talked, they were under 500.
Yeah, they were. At least Oakland was flirting around with Seattle of just being terrible there in the AL West, and they have turned things around. They're still
overtaking the Rangers.
Well, only by a half game. Where again, Texas did not play a game.
I know, but they've been looking up at Texas for the longest time. So the A's right now, again, they're a viable candidate for that wild card as well. So, and they're healthy now. So their pieces are all back, including Chris Davis.
Yeah, majority of it is healthy. Again, few pitchers are still out for the A's, but that is something they can certainly address if they want to be buyers. And I think Oakland should be buyers. Same with Tampa Bay. They should be at that point in time, but we'll certainly see. Looking at the wild cards as well, too, before getting at least away from this. But Tampa Bay does lead. At least they would host if the playoffs started today. They have a 3-game lead over Cleveland and also Oakland, who are both tied, at least for that second spot. Right behind them at half a game, Texas outside. A game and a half is Boston, and then rounding out at 4 games is the LA Angels. So that's the American League. On the National League side of things, Philadelphia, the Phillies still within it. They're a half game ahead of the Chicago Cubs, who own that second spot. Just behind them is the Colorado Rockies at a half game, which is not too surprising, but we'll see how long that lasts. Washington, go figure the Nationals. This is a team that surprises me. Right. 2 games above 500. They're only a game behind the Chicago Cubs for that second wild card spot. If the playoffs started today, Arizona 2.5. Tied with them is San Diego. The Padres still fighting 2.5, and the St. Louis Cardinals 2.5 as well too. And even in that, you can even toss in. I'll toss in the rest of the NL Central. Pittsburgh 3, Cincinnati 4.5. Go figure the Cincinnati Reds are 4.5 behind the Chicago Cubs. In a very competitive,
I just don't believe
that
the Reds are going to be buyers, but we'll see.
No, I don't think so. But go figure this Reds team, who is sitting, just below 500, but they're very competitive. They are still within it, at least at this point in time in the NL Central, where we can still entertain of could they make a move, could they be buyers, could they find themselves sneaking into the wild card. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to get over all the rest of those teams in the NL Central, but you still got to give them a puncher's chance.
And right now, where you mentioned the Rockies are not in the playoffs as of today.
Yeah.
I'm Dick Monfort, and Jeff Bridich just called into my office today because after last night, here
again, they're half game behind because they played one less game than Chicago.
And they got that one snow out with the Braves. But here's my deal. After, again, last night, Brian Shaw, who came out and could not get an out and gave up back-to-back doubles, who was in basically a batting practice pitcher. And again, Houston has seen Brian Shaw from his Cleveland days.
Yep.
So it's not like he was a stranger. Okay? Jake McGee comes in, brings more gasoline to the fire. The point is, this Rockies bullpen, and the Rockies battled back. German Marquez was maybe not good last night, but at least kept them in the ball game. And the offense came through last night. The Rockies' offense is one that can explode on you.
Yeah, that goes into the stats where here they stand again. They are scoring 483 runs in total, at least the amount of games that they played so far. The scary thing, the alarming thing, it goes with the pitching that has been an issue, for however long. But they lead the National League, at least in the wild card spot, with 467 runs allowed by that pitching staff.
Unbelievable.
That is, again, the next closest team, at least looking in the wild card spot, would be the New York Mets, who sit down there, at least in the basement, flirting around with the Giants and the Miami Marlins. They're at only 441 runs allowed. So a team that is flirting right now with wild card, and at least Rocky fans want this team to compete for an NOS division title. Your bullpen, your pitching, your starters, relief, whatever it may be, you're allowing as a team 467 runs.
Yeah, and again,
that's unbelievable.
A lot of that run.
You should be thankful. I think the Rockies right now at this point in time should be thankful that you have this potent offense. You have these all-star figures that can carry the load.
We already
of these
knew
pitchers.
they were going to be a good hitting team.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, imagine, put the hitters of the Giants on the Rockies with that Rockies bullpen, that Rockies starters. We're talking a team that could be flirting with 115, 120 losses at that point.
Well, I'm telling you right now, again, if
differential.
I'm Dick Monfort, I got Bridich in my office today. We got to address this problem because we will not be in the postseason this year. We can't have Wade Davis every other game pitch well. We can't have Brian Shaw come out once every 3 games and get out.
It's plain and simple. You need consistency, and you have far from it.
And that bullpen has no consistency. No. None whatsoever.
But that's been the common theme for the Rockies for what? We're going on 3 years now.
Well, this has been the entire season for the Rockies.
What cost them the playoff, or at least we get into the playoffs? What cost them last year, at least the series? It was pitching. You go to the Arizona-Colorado wild card game where they finally got into the playoffs for the first time in quite some time. What cost them that game?
I understand that.
It was a bullpen.
But I understand that, Nick. But here's the deal. They unload Mike Dunn. Well, Mike Dunn, yeah, okay. I see that. They need to grab one of these other clowns that can't seem to get an out and do the same thing they did with Mike Dunn. You're unconditionally waived. Yeah, I know we're going to have to eat some salary here, but the Rockies need to seriously start looking.
But that's the question: is will the Rockies want to eat that salary again?
They're going to have to because
I still see Colorado as a cheap franchise. In that ownership group, those owners don't like spending a whole lot of money, and I think is that something that you could foresee for the Rockies? I highly doubt it.
You don't make money playing golf after game 162. You want to be playing 163. Through at least 175. The thing is, with the Rockies right now, if they continue this same trend with this bullpen, they're done. And if I'm Nolan Arenado and he did this, about 3 years ago down in San Diego, he got us some faces.
Yeah.
And he is the captain of this team. He is the highest paid player. I know you don't go out to the bullpen and start, knocking some heads around, but either that or you go up and talk with the coaches, especially Foster, who stinks and needs to go as well too. This team is going to be doomed because of the bullpen. The bullpen stinks. That's it, plain simple. We got to move into hour number 2, and coming up, we will have Cheyenne Mustangs coming in to kick off our hour. Back after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local. It's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria over at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. We also want to thank First Tier Bank over on 1508 Stillwater Avenue, right across from Mondello's Pizzeria. Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue, and we also want to thank Lennox Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations for you. Eastsiders, catch them at the corner of College and Pershing, the original location over on Vandehigh. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. AJ and Greg and the entire crew wish you a very happy 4th of July holiday. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Powers Field. And Menards, where they invite you to sample their strawberry passion tea lemonade and their smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich, here for limited time only. We also want to thank Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30 and Taco John's of Cheyenne. We get things underway. It's scoreboard time. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We go to Nick.
As we talked about earlier in today's show, but reminding folks earlier this morning about 7:35 is when this game got underway, at least here in Mountain Time. But the Cheyenne Extreme get the victory over the Carolina Riptide, 8-2. The team out of Charlotte, North Carolina, again, as the Cheyenne Extreme go 2-0-1 in pool play. That puts them in the number 1 seed, and at least Pool B, they're in the USSSA Space Coast World Series down in Florida. So congratulations to Cheyenne Extreme and Adam Galicia of what they did so far in these past couple of days. With that, with the win today for the Cheyenne Extreme, they are 37-9-3 overall.
Major League Baseball, there is a final in, first from a double dip between the Pale Hose and the Motor City Kitties of Detroit at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. White Sox win 7-5. They will hook up for Game 2 in a little bit. We'll tell you when. Top of the first inning just started in Nationals Park. It's the Marlins and the Nats. Games getting underway as we leave at 5 p.m. Yankees-Mets continue their Subway Series at Citi Field. Again, the Mets snapping the 31-game homer streak by the Yankees last night. Cubs and the Pirates at PNC at 5:05. Red Sox, Blue Jays to follow in the Rogers Center. 5:10 we'll have the Orioles and the Rays at the Trop. Brewers, Reds at Great American Ballpark, 5:20. Phillies, Braves, that is. That will be at SunTrust Park in Cumberland, Georgia. Angels, Rangers at Globe Life Park in Arlington in the 6 o'clock hour. White Sox and the Tigers, Game 2 of their day-night twin bill. Astros and the Rockies at 6:10 at Coors Field for this evening. 91 degrees currently. Wade Miley on the hill for the Astros. Peter Lambert will get the call for Bud Black's Rockies. Indians Royals at Kauffman Stadium at 6:15. 7 o'clock game will have the Athletics entertaining the Twins in the Oakland Coliseum. It will be the Giants and the Padres wrapping up their series at Petco, as it will be a 7:10 start there. Diamondbacks Dodgers at Dodger Stadium in the 8 o'clock hour. Also in the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:10. Mariners Cardinals at T-Mobile Park. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find the store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. do the do.
Do you want the peace of mind of a professionally installed security camera system? Then go with the name you trust, High West Digital Solutions, a High West energy company. The experienced team at High West Digital Solutions will customize a video security system for you, helping you keep an eye on everything going on inside or outside your home or business. Go to hwds.com or call 307-245-4333. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
It's happening now through Sunday at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. Come join them for their annual blowout greenhouse sale, where it's buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value on everything, including annuals, perennials, roses, herbs, and much more. Plus, outside, save during the firecracker sale on trees. Aspen trees are now 50% off. Container deciduous trees are 25% off. And container evergreen trees are 15% off. Shop now through Sunday for these sensational buys at family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company since 1977 on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. Open 7 days a week, all season long. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 53. On Thursday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 82. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 52.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today. You had mentioned the death of the quarterback, the former Kentucky quarterback and New York Giant quarterback, Lorenzen. We haven't talked much about football, and we should, because summer camp's open this month.
All right.
But I want to...
how about you read into the only big NFL news, and it's something that's been across the wire. NFL, at least PR, had a release about it today. The only thing that's big that's happened of recent in the offseason for the NFL is dealing with the one Ezekiel Elliott.
That's exactly what I want to talk about. But there's also Mark Davis also in the news as well, too.
He always is.
I think what he has come out with has been pretty intelligent for him, believe it or not. First, let's go.
I think intelligent was moving that team to Las Vegas, where again, that city footed $1 billion stadium for him. So, again, Mark Davis is not an idiot as much as he looks like a complete idiot.
He
knows what he's doing.
Before we get to Zeke, let's go over to what Mark Davis says. And this is what I think is very important. While Oakland Raiders owner Mark Davis is thrilled for the family of late Denver Broncos owner Pat Bowlen, which will receive a ring and gold jacket from the Pro Football Hall of Fame upon his enshrinement next month, Davis is just excited about what the precedent could mean for families of other deceased members. See, this is interesting because the Hall of Fame's long-standing policy of not awarding rings and jackets to families of members selected posthumously came under fire during the inductions of Junior Seau in 2015 and Kenny Stabler, the Snake, back in 2016. So Mark Davis has been a proponent of this. David Baker and the Hall of Fame made the right decision according to Davis, and I believe it opens the door for reconsidering awarding rings and jackets to the families of all deceased enshrinees. As Davis told ESPN.com last night, it opens the door to making it right for other families like Junior Seau's and Kenny Stabler's. So, again, we've given Mark Davis a lot of grief, and again, he's done things absolutely different than his dad would have done, but
probably for the better than the Raiders franchise.
Well, but again, too, I think this is a very important move that he's making this point that, hey, you get to the Hall of Fame, the ring is what it's all about. Getting that Hall of Fame ring, the gold jacket. Yeah, Pops has died, but you know what? It's his. Something to remember him by.
Yeah.
And again, think about Mark Davis's father, Al, was enshrined in 1992 and died in 2011. George Allen's father died in 1990 and was enshrined in 2002. So again, you've got these guys, Bruce Allen and Mark Davis. They're right now making this move to the Hall of Fame, saying you got to change your ways.
Which is surprising that they already have that in play, or why the Hall of Fame is like that in general. But, especially kudos to Mark Davis, where, at least with the recent situation with Pat, at least Bolin, again, passing away, obviously, again, the heated rivalry that is Raiders and Broncos, again, Mark Davis understands that rivalry, but at least a nice little kind of sentiment that it was him that spoke up about this, kind of reached across those, those battle lines, so to speak, and said, hey, going to fight for this situation out of respect for what he was, what he did for the game, even if he is a part of our heated rival, owner of the heated rival to my franchise. I think it's a classy move by Mark Davis, but also too, it's surprising to hear that this was ever an issue for the Hall of Fame and why they even do this in general.
And here was the Hall of Fame statement that was issued back in 2016, so 3 years ago.
All right.
And when I read this, you'll say, gosh, that's stupid. But anyway, this is what the statement said in part, that the jackets of the rings were presented to the living Hall of Fame members to be worn exclusively by them as evidence and pride of their having been elected to the sport's most elite fraternity.
Is it something, and as I'm racking my brain through this and just trying to figure an excuse or at least why the Hall of Fame would do this, is it more so an argument of we're worried that whoever receives this, if it is not the person that's enshrined, if it is a family member, a wife, whoever it may be, that the Hall of Fame's afraid that they're just going to sell it like on eBay, or hey,
I don't know.
Again, almost do a situation like that of, hey, here's a Hall of Fame ring, have fun. I'll make money off of it.
Yeah,
I mean, is that what the Hall of Fame's worried about?
Yeah, they're going to put on Pawn Stars. I mean, come on.
I don't understand that of obviously, yes, you want to induct them and at least have that special moment with whoever's living and able to see that moment with the Hall of Fame. But, I mean, it is still something where if they are deceased, whoever at least they want it to go to, or at least the next logical way to at least present those items, why is that an issue, Hall of Fame?
And you and I know this.
I just don't get it. I'm trying to rack my brain of why they would go
I
there.
think it's idiotic.
Yeah.
And you and I know this as well from sports entertainment with the WWE, with their Hall of Fame ceremony. They will present it to the ring will be presented to the family.
Yeah.
They don't say, hey, you're in the Hall of Fame. Your pop's in the Hall of Fame. Your mom's in the Hall of Fame. Thank you for showing up. They actually say, here's your dad or your mom's Hall of Fame ring. So sometimes
it doesn't make sense. Yeah, the
Hall of Fame is just
why they go that route. Is it's something that they're worried that that memorabilia, or at least that special gifts for the enshrinement are going to be sold off, or they're going to find their way into average Joe public.
A couple of years ago, I was fighting for Pat Bolin. He should have been enshrined before Jerry Jones. But he wasn't.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, Pat lost his battle with Alzheimer's this year, just recently, and unfortunately the family will have to accept his enshrinement. Real quick here, Zeke Elliott, who has turned into the biggest arse in the National Football League. We needed a character. By golly, he's
already
stepping up to the plate.
Yeah.
And according to the NFL,
it was an issue that happened in Las Vegas, at least happening during the music festival, I do believe, that was going out there in Sin City. But again, Ezekiel Elliott, this happening, a couple days ago, if I remember, but
this was the May incident.
Oh yeah, May incident. At least he came out a few days ago, at least addressing giving out an apology and all this
to
stuff.
The guy I think it was a security guard. He bumped and knocked him to the ground.
Yeah.
But anyway, he met with the NFL, and he will face no discipline for this incident. He was briefly detained but not arrested in the incident when a security guard fell to the ground after being bumped by the running back. NFL said it conducted a comprehensive investigation that included interviews with multiple witnesses, including security personnel and others with direct involvement, as well as a review of a documentary and other information. So Elliott met with the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell for several hours on Tuesday to discuss the incident and what he had learned.
Well,
and what had he learned, I'll mess up again later.
Well, we learned that it was at least a college football player, Kyle Johnson. He was 19-year-old. And again, this all happened at EDC, which is a large music festival there that happens at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway there in Sin City. So a lot of incidents like this happened during that time. But the interesting situation is more so of, it was more so of Ezekiel Elliott, at least Kyle Johnson declining to press charges against Ezekiel Elliott. So, here it is. You got a slap on the wrist, and you move forward at this point in time. Oh, well.
And again, he's already been suspended for 6 games by the commissioner back in 2017. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back with our next guest right here on 1480 KRAE.
Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
Introducing Digital Wallet, a new way to pay with Platte Valley Bank. Add your Platte Valley Bank debit card to Google Pay, Samsung Pay, or Apple Pay, and have the ability to make purchases with just your phone. It's secure, simple, and accepted by millions of merchants worldwide. Try it today or check out pvbank.com for more information.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We'll work hard for your business, and we'll work just as hard to keep it. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and you need to see the new 2019 Kia Sportage today. The 2019 Kia Sportage offers numerous options and advanced driving features that help you know who is around you and how best to stay in control. Kia Sportage offers many standard features for the money. Some of the competition does not. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, Call 775-0123 or go to keyofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480, KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. As Jada the Wonder Dog announced, we had somebody here, and that would be Coach Reed Thompson from the Cheyenne Mustangs, as we get a chance to talk Mustangs baseball. Again, another busy upcoming weekend, or 4th of July holiday weekend. But the weekend that was, let's go back and talk about the Mustangs being in town, which was nice. It's always nice to, click your heels and go, there's no place like home. A lot of action. Tell us a little bit your thoughts on the Mustangs over the weekend.
Overall, pretty solid weekend for us. We had a couple ugly games. We had the one real ugly game that I talked to you guys about where I think we had 6 errors and still pulled it out. So, but other than that game, we played pretty well. Made it all the way to the championship game of our own tournament, which is fun, playing in front of our own fans in a championship game, and just ran into a Triple Crown team that was just a little bit much for us. A little bit older, faster, stronger. They do a good job with that organization, and we have to tip our hats to them.
Do you point to that dugout over there, and in addition to saying congratulations, but you look at your kids, you say, hey, you guys can be this, and you're working your way to that portion of the program right now.
Absolutely, and that's exactly the conversation we had after the game. Was that's why we're out here grinding every day, so we can be that in 2 or 3 years when they're all seniors.
Going back to this past weekend at Powers Field, again, the Mustang Summer Classic, what were some of the positives that you took away from this? Again, as you mentioned, making it to the championship game, being that, at least having that opportunity here in town of a tournament that you are hosting. So positives that you took away from this weekend, but also too, what were some things that we still need to work on as we focus towards the 4th of July tournament that you'll be at least competing up here at least tomorrow?
I think our biggest positives were our quality at-bats. We had, like I mentioned, that first game of the tournament, we had 19 quality at-bats and 27 plate appearances. And we've been doing a good job working at the plate, situational hitting. So I think that for me, especially as the hitting coach, that was probably the most exciting thing for me to see. And then probably the biggest thing we need to work on was our situational defense. Cuts and relays, making sure we're throwing to the right base and not giving up extra bases to trail runners. And so we hammered that home in practice this week.
Do you see with, again, the basics, and as you get to this level, the basics are a must, hitting cutoffs, situational baseball. Is that, I don't want to say a knock on the programs prior to them coming up, but you're kind of teaching basics to these guys right now, and they should have some of those in play.
Right, yeah, ideally they would have a lot of that kind of already built into them, but again, they're so young and they're playing a little bit at a higher level, but that's definitely something that we want to hammer home. And that was another thing we talked about after that Triple Crown game. We pointed them, you're never going to beat a team like that making mental mistakes like that. If you want to play at that level of baseball and compete, you got to do all the little things right. You got to bring your A game to be able to compete at that level.
As we talk about practices, at least got you away from practice today to talk with us, and we appreciate you doing that for us. But, we talk about where you got a mixture of vets on that team, for instance, again, with one Ryan Chamberlain, who is pretty much set in stone of what he knows, and, again, a phenomenal pitching product for the Cheyenne Mustangs. And you do have some of the youngsters who are coming up, first-time varsity experience. But talking about practice around at least this point in time of the season, I mean, is it something that we still kind of look at developing the fundamentals, or at least kind of the small term, so to speak, or is it something that we just hold the whole team at a higher level, and hopefully the youngsters are at that point in time to don't have to worry about going back to the basic fundamentals, so to speak?
Right. It's a little bit of both. We do some small pair group stuff where they have a chance to work on what they need to work on individually, kind of slow the game down, and then we do a lot of situational stuff, especially at this point in the season, where we just play like today, for example. We just had kind of a live coach pitch inter squad just so they could get live reps, and they're expected to throw to the right base and make the right plays and kind of throw them in the fire where it's controlled and we can stop it and talk to them if we need to. That way they're not making those mistakes in the game where we can't stop and talk to them and can't take it back.
Sometimes an athlete is good, but does the improper technique, and sometimes they bring those improper techniques to your ball club, with them, and you try to snap them out of those habits. How do you explain to them? Because again, it's worked for them at these levels, and now as you get to the upper level, it's not working anymore. How do you get them out of these bad habits?
Right. That's,
and we both can relate to this.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things. Especially, it's even harder if they're getting away with it and having success at this level that they're at, and you're trying to explain to them at the next level you can't do that. And people that have seen it and have been there understand that. But if they haven't seen it, then it's tough. So we try to put them in a little bit uncomfortable situations, almost to the point where we know they're going to fail, just so they can step back and say, okay, maybe he's right. Maybe that is a problem, because sometimes it's really hard to see. You hate to put them in situations where they're going to fail, but sometimes it's good for them to see that, right, so they can step back and fix it.
Let me ask you this question too, as the younger guys, and again, there's nothing wrong with this because we've all been there and done it. They've learned the fundamentals from you and Sheldon, but does that immaturity, that panic set in? And did you see some of that with some of these errors? It's like they know what to do, but they do the opposite.
Right. Yeah, and it's hard when one thing goes bad. I call it the wheels falling off the bus, and so it's hard to take your hand off that panic button, sit back and relax, especially when they're young and the game's speeding up on them. So, and it's hard to practice that. That's just game reps and something that they're going to have to work through as they get older and play at a higher level.
It's something during the game, something that I've noticed, again, whether it was watching the past weekend games at Powers Field or at least throughout this season, again, with the young team, and as we talk about immaturity, I've seen some incidents out on the field where, again, players do cause those errors, get a little frustrated, and again, that kind of builds upon them where, that game, at least their game might be affected throughout that, at least that game or throughout that day or throughout maybe that weekend series. But when you start noticing that, you or either Sheldon, you see that player start, slamming the helmet down, or either start just getting frustrated and just kind of isolating themselves on the field, what is kind of the course of action for you or Sheldon? Is it something to just sit them down, kind of cool them off, get them away from the rest of the team, just have a one-to-one, just heart-to-heart? I mean, what's kind of the course of direction during a game?
Right, and as you guys know, it varies from player to player, based on their temperament and kind of their background. So it's a little bit different with every player, but a lot of times it's kind of pulling them aside and getting them calmed down. It does them no good to yell at them more right in the middle of the game there in front of their teammates and parents and fans. So it's better just to pull them down, calm them back down. Especially a lot of it's just maturity. So it's they let previous plays, or they let umpire calls get to them, and then everything just kind of shuts down. So a lot of that's just talking to them about being mature and being able to block that out.
In talking about, at least keeping on the topic with fans and parents, ran into a situation that we talked about earlier, right, at least from this past week, in one media entity that was out at Powers Field. Notice, not going to say it was one fan of the Mustangs or another team there, but it was just fans in general at Powers Field, causing a bit of a scene where you're already focusing on the field, dealing with the incidents there. But is it something that, do we hear some of this pushback, or at least some of these incidents in the stands with fans and parents of,
ragging on the umpire?
Ragging on the umpire. Again, is what's kind of the course of action for the Cheyenne Mustangs, where we hear something like this, especially at our tournament here at our fields? Is it something that we send out an email, or at least try to talk with parents of saying, hey, we were aware of this, but please show some respect, especially where we're getting harassment towards the umpire and officials out on, at least on our grounds.
Right, yeah, it's definitely a conversation we have to have, and usually we kind of deal with that as it goes. But especially at home when these are our umpires, these are our guys, and I mean they're not out there trying to hose us. They're trying to do the best job they can, and it's hard to yell at an umpire when it's not intentional. So it's something we deal with just kind of case by case as it goes. But
well, and the thing is too, as you prepare these guys for the next level, and you know it as well as I do, you move into the collegiate level, and again, times have changed. I mean, I'm 30 plus years older than you. Coaches were a little more intense in your face. Now it's more of a psychology type of event as you move into the collegiate level, but still, coaches are gonna nail you if you do something wrong. How do you get that young man that you are teaching right now, get him ready for that next level? Because each level is a different breed of cat.
Right. And I have an appreciation for the older coaching style. I played for Coach Galen McSpadden at Seward County. He was there for 36 years when I was there. So old school, hard-nosed baseball, expect to do things right. And then on the other hand, you have a younger generation that's not quite used to that and doesn't respond to that quite the same way. And so, it's finding a way to bridge that gap between the two, where sometimes you need to yell and put the hammer down, and sometimes you need to kind of let some things slide and talk to them a little bit easier about it. So it's definitely a battle back and forth.
I'm glad he used the term at least millennial. So at least again the young athlete, or so to speak, with the Cheyenne Mustangs. So I appreciate that as we toss around that term so much in this day and age. But moving past this past weekend for the Cheyenne Mustangs, as we develop and continue on through this season, upcoming 4th of July coming up tomorrow for the Cheyenne Mustangs. You'll be down in the state of Colorado once again, at least in the Greeley area. Thankfully, it is at least a Denver-hosted tournament, but won't have to drive too far down south. But just give us a little preview of this tournament coming up in Colorado.
Right, so we open up tomorrow at 10:30 against a USA Prime team that'll be very solid. It's one of their top teams, so we'll have our work cut out for us. And then we turn around and play again right after that against the NOCO Roughnecks. And that's a team I believe was down here at one of our tournaments, or in the NOCO tournament. So we've played them before, and then we play a different USA Prime team on Friday at 3:30. So the way the tournament's set up is you pretty much have to go 3-0. Only 4 or 6 teams make it to bracket, so you pretty much have to win all your pool play games. So it's hard to save pitching. So we'll have to come out swinging out of the gates if we want a chance to make the bracket.
So 4 or 6 teams at least going into bracket play to play for the championship. How many teams at least in total are on both sides of kind of pool play?
I think there's around 45 again, 44, like it was the NOCO. Similar setup to the NOCO tournament.
And again, now we get into summer weather. You and Sheldon been around this for a long time, so these younger guys have been experiencing, at least up here, temperatures. You go down south, you could almost bank on 10, 15 degrees warmer, especially in Johnstown. I've been there. I know it gets and a little bit on the humidity side. So you got to worry about hydration, but you also got to worry about guys wearing out.
Right, yeah, I looked at the weather tomorrow. It's supposed to be 93 down there, so it'll be a warm one, and playing back-to-back games right in the middle of the day, 10:30 and 1, so that's definitely be a factor and something we're going to need to combat just to give us any kind of
schedule makers didn't do you guys any favors. I mean, they gave you time to get down there, but they didn't do you much on the schedule.
You got the somewhat early morning contest before it hits
high
noon.
When I had the 9 o'clock game at Niawat, I was happy when we were done by 11:30.
So. Well, we'll ask about this tournament. It's something we've kind of remissed on, even with the post 6-6ers and even Cheyenne Mustangs. Metal, wood bat, what are we looking at in this tournament?
Wood bat tournament this weekend. So we talked about that last time I was on the show a little bit of difference there for the hitters, a little bit smaller sweet spot, a little bit more head heavy. So you got to be a little bit better at the plate and a little bit better executing small ball.
And real quick too, with bat companies. Now again, I don't know if a bat company has come to you and said, "Hey, we want to be your bat company," or you look at the majors and they're doing Mariucci, or they're doing Dovetail, or they're doing Louisville Slugger. What kind of bats do you guys try to have the kids use?
We let them decide that. We let them pick their own bats. We don't have any kind of requirements, or we give them recommendations. we prefer they use composite wood bats. Otherwise, they break a whole bunch of them. So I know I broke a bunch when I was playing. So
be a nice little kindling and wood fire for tomorrow's festivities if you want at that point in time.
Do some good barbecue.
Yeah.
And been there, did it, done it too. Broke a bat or two in my lifetime as well. We want to thank Reed Thompson joining us. We're going to introduce you to, I do believe, Kate Connell coming up on our next segment here. So we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with more Wyoming Sports Talk today after these words.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Looking for an IT company with friendly, local customer service and the expertise to handle any job? Then go with a name you trust, High West Digital Solutions, a High West energy company. We handle everything from business network management to personal computer problems to same-day phone and tablet repairs. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being, local, polite, and eager to help. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you. It's happening now through Sunday at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company. Come join them for their annual blowout greenhouse sale, where it's buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value on everything, including annuals, perennials, roses, herbs, and much more. Plus outside, save during the firecracker sale on trees. Aspen trees are now 50% off. Container deciduous trees are 25% off. And container evergreen trees are 15% off. Shop now through Sunday for these sensational buys at family-owned and operated Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company since 1977 on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. Open 7 days a week, all season long.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Perotti inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 87. Then for tonight, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 53. On Thursday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 82. And on Thursday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 52.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We get to bring you a young man, again, as we introduce you to members of the Cheyenne Mustangs. And again, one of those young guys that is getting to make his name known here in Cheyenne.
And he's certainly making his name known, especially here in the month of June. with the Cheyenne Mustangs, putting out a phenomenal batting average, just being dominant on the offensive side for the Mustangs in the month of June. So he's making a name for himself.
All right, well, we're going to introduce you to Cade Connell. Cade, thank you so much for joining us. First off, as we get going here, we'll get to where you go to school at and all that. What position did you play for the Mustangs?
I play a lot of catcher, a lot of third, some outfield.
Which position do you prefer if you had your choice?
If I had the choice, I'd like to catch.
So you like getting beat up? You like all those foul balls coming off the mask and off the chest and everything, huh?
Love it.
You love it.
Yep.
He goes to the ringer. I've seen a few contests at Powers where he's all over the place out there.
Been there, did it, done it, pal. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Real quick here, you are in school still. Where do you go to school at?
I go to school in Wheatland.
So Wheatland, Wyoming, which is
70+ miles away from you.
Well, yeah, to play for the Cheyenne Mustangs to get all the way down here. Talk about how that came about, where, again, Wheatland, not knowing if there is any club ball up there or opportunities, whether a Legion or something like that. But what was the decision process to come play for the Cheyenne Mustangs?
Well, I mean, of course, I played Little League in Wheatland, and they have a club ball team up there. It's called the Wheatland Lobos, but we figured there was better opportunities to play baseball down here, better ways to get into college, maybe.
No doubt.
Yeah. And as he was kind of kidding around where he goes, hey, I drive 100 miles down to Denver to go play ball. Well, you're also, too, not practicing every day or at least, majority of the week as well, too, on top of playing ball for the Cheyenne Mustangs. But, are you committed to at least driving down or at least parents driving you down every day for practice and games to the Cheyenne Mustangs? I mean, this has got to be a tall task for you, at least here in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get to work that much, but it's all worth it. Thank my parents for bringing me down every day, but in the end, it'll all work out. So,
one of the nice things too, and your pop is out there in the lobby area, our bullpen area, and I would venture to say you do a lot of throwing, or your dad does a lot of throwing to you, and so you try to do as much practicing at home as you get ready to come down here and either play or practice with the Mustangs, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, we have a batting cage up, so I try to get as many reps as I can there. Do a little throwing, keep my arm warm during the off season. Do a lot of hitting, keep my arm in shape so I can play the best I can when the season starts.
So as we got an understanding that you've been playing at least T-ball, again, junior leagues, baseball's in your blood, but for the Cheyenne Mustangs, is this your first year being a part of the club, or have you been, with the other, 16 under squads? I mean, is this your first year playing for the Mustangs?
No, I came down here 13U. I played with a lot of these kids that are younger this year and the freshmen. So, I'm pretty familiar with it.
We were talking with Coach Thompson here, and again, and Coach Baxter, Skipper Baxter, we should call him that. What are the things that again, every year you're going to learn something more about baseball. What are you learning about these coaches this year? What are they attempting to teach you?
Well, I think they're just attempting to teach us a higher level of baseball. I mean, both of them went to play at higher levels of baseball, so they're going to try to push that down back to us, give us the best shot of maybe getting somewhere and win a lot of games.
And then also, too, as you are seeing that next level of ball. And this, again, I think this is kind of cool, being a sophomore and you have this opportunity to play up there with the big boys. Again, you're seeing some guys that can, fire the rock pretty hard at the plate, and you're up there getting your licks, and again, guys are coming hard into home plate at you. They want to take you out and all that other good stuff. But what is this team learning right now?
Well, I think we're just learning about how good we're going to have to get to the rest of these years. We're going to have to see, all right, this is the ball club we want to be in a few years, so we're going to have to work hard to get there.
Now, as we get the understanding, again, sophomore at Wheatland High School, as you talk about, coaches teaching you to get to that next level, at least playing baseball as they did. Granted, you got a lot of time left to kind of focus on studies, whether at least in the high school ranks, and figure out post-high school. But have you thought about it? Is baseball on your mind? Is that something you want to do post-high school?
Yes, sir. I want to play baseball in college, and then I want to get a good degree in animal science or something like that. But if I can just go to college, That'd be great.
He's got it all down and pat, major all set, sewed already. You got to like that.
We're talking with Cade Connell, Wheatland product, who is playing with the Cheyenne Mustangs.
And we want to keep with the Wheatland High School. Again, we know that you play baseball. Any other athletics that you'll be at least attempting up in Wheatland, or if not already competing in right now?
Are you going to be a bulldog in another sport?
I think I'll play basketball this year, and I'll probably play football. It just depends.
All right, real quick here. We always ask our athletes what's their favorite baseball team. So we're going to hit you up. Do you have a favorite baseball team in the majors?
Well, I got to stay strong with the Rockies.
All right, fair enough. You did swerve us with the Dodgers or something like that. Thank God,
yeah, Dodgers, we'd have to boot them out of here. I couldn't take 2 Dodgers in a row. Real quick here, favorite player on the Rocks?
I like Arenado.
As you talk about catching being your top priority, at least something position that you do enjoy, is there a catcher throughout Major League, whether a Buster Posey, Yadier, or Molina, to name a few? Is there a catcher right now in the majors that you look to maybe get some tips, tricks at all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they're there, they're all good catchers. But my favorite's probably Yadier or Molina. I really like the way he catches, and I just like how he plays the game.
One last thing for me here, Cade, before we let you go, and I know you guys got practice and got to get ready for that big tournament beginning tomorrow down in Johnstown. As you are catching, do you always look over to the coaches? Are they flipping signals to you so you are relaying that to the pitcher?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah, they're calling pitches, but sometimes they'll just let me loose and let me call, and I enjoy that too. But if they want to call them, I'll call them back to the pitcher.
Now, I saw the other day, I haven't done this yet. I've usually been the guy that wears tape around my fingers, but do you paint your fingernails too so they can see your signals?
I haven't had to do that yet this year. I haven't had a pitcher complain about signs, but yeah, if one complains about signs, I'll probably have to do that. Probably paint them a pretty shade of pink.
Yeah, there you go. Do the sacrifice to at least keep the battery, pretty happy.
I was already talking to Sonia this week. I said, can I borrow your white? Hey, Cade, we wish you all the best, and we are looking forward to seeing you on the field.
And keep that hot bat going here in the month of at least July as well.
Yeah, and we'll be catching you at the ballpark on one of these games. All right, Cade Connell, join us again. Thank you to Coach Reed Thompson and the Cheyenne Mustangs report right here on 1480 KRAE. Back after these words.
Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
The end of the summer is in sight. Did you accomplish all of your home improvements and remodeling projects? Whether you're remodeling your kitchen or adding a little extra space for your growing family, the home equity line of credit with Platte Valley Bank can help you finish what you want to complete this summer. So stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit with Platte Valley Bank.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. All lines of credit are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Make your drive anything but average with the 2019 Kia Sorento. I'm AJ Miller, and with the 2019 Kia Sorento, you get similar features like the competition standard models, but spend less. That puts more money in your pocket. Dynamax all-wheel drive, Smart Power liftgate, and Surround View monitor are some of the many features available on the Kia Sorento. Come into Kia of Cheyenne for exceptional value. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480, KRAE.
Back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Once again, thank you to Reed Thompson and Cade Connell. As I stand up with Cade, I feel like I'm a giant to him as I'm a catcher as well.
Again, he's just becoming a sophomore, so
I know, but I mean, I feel like a giant. Umpires have a hard time.
And again, he is, and nothing against Cade. Obviously, he's going to develop into again.
Yeah, he's going to grow. Yeah.
He certainly is, but he is certainly the youngest and smallest player for the Cheyenne Mustangs, if not on the field whenever they are opposed against another team. But he's pretty a fearless player out there. He's a guy that is certainly motivated out there. He gets a little fiery, something where, maybe as we talk with Reed, a bit of that frustration comes out again, that young frustration being a part of this varsity squad and trying to kind of get that maturity. But again, he's not afraid. And clearly he isn't with the bat, where I think even the stats that Reed sent over to me via text earlier this morning of kind of at least June batting stats for at least Cade. So far in the month of June, he was hitting .440 batting average.
That's pretty good.
Guy's not afraid to swing the bat again, as much as he's got the small strike zone, but he's not afraid to get on
the
base.
batting cage up there in Wheatland that he works out with his pop, so that makes a lot of difference too. You're always staying fresh all the time.
But talk about that commitment. Give credit to the Mustangs, even to Post 6, even the Cheyenne Extreme, where we are this nice little hub here in the Cap City that give these players in these remote communities, whether it's Wheatland, Torrington, with Ryan Chamberlain coming from Laramie, again, they're making these big commitments to come down and play for these teams. And these teams are given those opportunities and committing it, giving it their all. And also, too, it shows a little toughness, a little tenacity by, a Cade Connell, by a Ryan Chamberlain, whoever it may be, that, that's not an easy trek. That's, again, right. for his father, and eventually Cade, once he becomes a junior, senior, if he gets a car or, again, has that availability in the summers, moving forward with the Cheyenne Mustangs, that's a big commitment.
Yeah,
and give credit to them.
And, again, but he also knows, too, what lies ahead, what could be at the next level.
And I think that talks worlds of maturity where, again, he's becoming a sophomore up in Wheatland. He's already talked about hey, I realize what the opportunities this team can give me. Wheatland couldn't, the club team up there, but instead for the Cheyenne Mustangs, with these head coaches, whether it is Sheldon Baxter, who has been a part of a collegiate baseball program, say with Reed Thompson, they know that they can get them to a bigger and better opportunity into that next level. So there is that mutual understanding as well in that opportunity. So, give credit to our local teams that do kind of go outside the local area and help others out.
We've seen that with Adam's team, too.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Real quick here, I want to wrap things up as we get ready to call it a 4th of July weekend. And, again, we wish you a very happy, safe, and happy 4th of July Thursday. Quiet, dude. And again, too, we won't be here on Friday, so we're going to be taking the next couple of days off. But we do want to remind you, tonight we will have our last night, because we're not going to be scheduling any programs for Thursday, of our Golden Age of Radio Theater from 8 until 10, Sherlock Holmes ×2. And, again, we will have Suspense Theater from 9 until 10, so that'll be tonight only, and then we'll have